Well, hello today, ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to make this object. This is a tag, name tag, keychain, any kind of pull tab zipper thing, something like that we can use to mark something. This little object is made from a rectangular prism. It's basically a rectangular block. We've rounded the edges and we have a hole in it. Let me show you how to do that. First, we're going to go to our home screen. We're going to click on Part. Inventor will open up a new part modeling window. You'll see that it's just a blank screen. Yours will probably be blue. We're going to click Start 2D Sketch. That'll bring out our work plane choices. I'm going to create mine on the XY plane. When you do this, now we can see the Y, X, or XY coordinates. This is 0, 0. I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm going to put the rectangle at starting at 0, 0. And then while we're dragging, you can see that the dimension boxes are open. I'm going to type in 2 inches for the width. We're going to hit the Tab key. I'm going to type in 0.75 inches for the height and type the Enter key. On my View cube, I can hit the Front button. And now I have a rectangle that's 2 inches wide, 5.75 inches tall. We're going to add a circle. And we're going to draw a circle. I can type in the diameter of the circle right now, but if I don't do that, I won't get a dimension. I can add that dimension after the fact, clicking the General Dimension tool, which is up on the middle of our Sketch tab. And bring my mouse to the edge of the circle. Click on the edge, pull away. Click one more time. My Edit Dimension dialog box pops up. I'd like to make my circle 0.2 of an inch in diameter. Notice it says D2, that's dimension 2, and the measurement you can see is going edge to edge, so that's a diameter. This hole is not done yet. You can see that while I have a hole, while I have a hole, the hole is not set. I can move it around. So we want to give it a location. I'm going to put it 0.3 of an inch away from the left edge. And we want to center it up and down. So we're going to click on the top line, release, click on the center mark and release, and tap to bring up the Edit Dimension dialog box. The height of our box is 0.75 inches. The dimension we're going to want is going to be half of that, so we can center it. We can recognize that 0.75 is the overall height, and we'll divide that by 2 because that's half. And we now used our Edit Dimension box as a calculator to create the dimension for the height. We now have the overall dimensions for this object complete. I can get my object back to center by using my View cube. Hit the little house button, zooms all, and brings us back to this isometric view. We're going to extrude. We can click on the extrude button up on our 3D model pane, or you just hit the E key on the keyboard, which you can see is at the top of the screen here next to the tool name. See in parentheses the letter E. That means that that's a shortcut, so I can hit E and that automatically pops my extrude dialog box up. Now all I need to do is click the space that I want to extrude, and give it a distance to extrude. In this case, I'm going to extrude 2/10 of an inch. I click OK, and now I have a box. But if you recall from our original, there was rounded edges, so we're going to show you how to round those edges. Rounding off the edge of something is called a fillet. And click the fillet button, and then click the edges we want to round over. What's cool is that you can reach through the object to identify objects, features. And now we want to give it a bigger size. We're going to go 0.25. In the fillet dialog box, you can identify and vary the dimensions. Notice that if I use an invalid number, it pops up red. If I give it a valid number, it's black. So 0.25 is what I'm looking for. I click OK, and now we're done. And that's all we need to know to build this part.